And I'm going to trust that when I choose myself, the universe is going to rise up to meet me. And even if I can't see a way out yet, I'm going to have faith in me.
Do you see what a metaphysical can of worms this portal is?
Tonight, live and direct from inside the struggle, we're talking about the real life applications of choosing myself, even when the stakes are very high. If you listen to the last episode, you will know that I got 2 job offers, and I took one of the jobs, and I started training, and then I quit after 3 days. I feel very confident and affirmed in my choice, but it was not an easy thing to do, and I have grappled with a lot of guilt in a like beggars can't be choosers kind of way, because the stakes are very real. The financial hole that I'm in is very real. I am a mother. I have 2 dogs. I have to be able to provide, and the way things are economically right now, things are so fucked up with the cost of living. It's unreal. And I've never in my life been the type of person that's like complaining because like a piece of produce is 10 cents more at this store than at another store. You know what I mean? I'm not like penny pinching, even when I'm sure I would benefit from more of that behavior. It's just not how my Sagittarius self works, you know? I just skip through optimistic. I can acknowledge sometimes when it hits a little hard in the wallet and it's like, damn, it is what it is though. It just is what it is. That's my attitude. But lately, well, honestly for me, this has been like an increasingly inclined treadmill for at least 3 years. So it's definitely reaching some horrifying crescendo now. I will say that, because it's so bad that I am in disbelief. I am in disbelief at how much everything costs. I'm in disbelief at how much I'm working and how much I don't get to chill and enjoy my life. And yet I still am not making enough money to just cover the basic needs. I've been poor most of my life, some degree of broke, okay? And this is so bad. But as I mentioned, having been poor my whole life, there was always one industry that I could count on to be there to fall back on or suck me back in, depending on how you want to look at it. And that was the service industry, working in bars and restaurants. I was trained in fine dining at 14 years old. Between then and now, at 40, for most of that time I've been working some type of restaurant or service industry job. At the same time, I was a lot of the years struggling with substance abuse and chronic illness in various forms, and just like always getting sick, like the immune system of a Victorian child. I would start at a restaurant. Within 6 months, I will start to self-medicate, and I will start at the same time having physical symptoms. The IBS really out to get me, migraines and all sorts of like chronic weird issues, like just my whole body will start to go out of whack, and then I will just push through because it's the only job that I can work where I can make potentially that level of money. the last time that was a long stretch of working in a restaurant, that was the least toxic place I had worked. And that's why I lasted like 3 whole years. But even by the time I left there, my health was deteriorating to the point where it becomes an issue, because the restaurants don't give a fuck if your health is deteriorating. They want you in there if your fucking limbs are falling off. They do not care. You can have literally walking pneumonia. You can have your fucking leg wrapped up in a cast, and they will want you to show up for your shift or get it covered, and that's it. Those are the only options. So you push and you push and you push because you feel guilty, you feel pressured, and you know that's really the only job that you can get where you do have earning potential. After I quit in 2017, I was able to not go back into the industry, and I thought I was done with it forever. And then life happened, and a lot of different circumstances happened, things that were totally out of my control. I'm faced again with this Sophie's choice where it's like, okay, I know I'm pretty much maxed out right now with the work that I'm doing, with the little bit of business that my business gets, and working dog walking, and then also trying to keep my home together and raise my child with no support system. I have friends who help how they can, but I don't have family around. I don't have family that I speak to really at all. And I come to a point where I realize, I'm considering all the things that I could be willing to do to compromise what I know is good for me in order to get out of the financial hole that I'm in. And so my mind runs the gamut of things that I could possibly do. And it's depressing, and I'm anxious, and I'm crying a lot because I don't want to sell feet pics. Then by comparison, I thought, well, restaurant isn't as bad as becoming a lady of the evening for you, right? So you're good at it. You got a great resume. You can get a job at a restaurant like that. Boom. So that's what I did. And literally the 2 weeks that I was applying and interviewing at different places, my anxiety was horrible. My sleep was horrible. I was just dreading it. And then I got hired in a place that I thought was going to be a great opportunity. And in a way it was. It was a beautiful atmosphere. Like aesthetically, it was very like low light and not loud and overwhelming. And in Georgetown waterfront, such a beautiful area. And I was really doing my best to just lock in on the positive aspects of it and the potential that it had to help me stabilize, and that it would just be temporary, and that I will make the best of it, and then I'll move on. I thought I could make good money here. It's patio season. People that come in here are clearly loaded. It's right in Georgetown, right off of the strip where people shop. I think first or second night training there, Secret Service comes in and they have to set up a special seating area for the agents and then for their high profile client. And wouldn't you know, it's Pam motherfucking, but the Dow was at 50,000 Bondi, because that's fucking DC for you. That is the level of people in society that are coming to eat at this place. So I feel like there's earning potential. The first night I trained, I felt good about having a job there, right by the waterfront. I thought about, after a long shift, coming out to that spot to unwind. And I just was trying to be optimistic. By the second shift, by the end of it, I had been so frustrated. I could already see the cracks starting to show. Because I've done this for so long, and my pattern recognition is off the motherfucking chain, I could tell what was going to happen. I could see all the little friction points. I could see the personality quirks, we'll call them. And I'm not saying that in like a judgy way, but like I could see already that there were certain people that were rubbing me the wrong way. I could see the manager's blind spots already. And I was already frustrated. By the end of my third night, it was just undeniable that this was not going to work. My body and my intuition said, no. 3 shifts is 3 shifts too many. You were having literal nightmares for weeks leading up to this point. We're not doing this. I woke up the day after my 3rd training shift and I was sick. Like for real sick. Like I had picked up a cold or like some mild flu. But I was down for the count for a couple of days. And I don't even get sick like that. I thought I was a sickly person. I thought I had the immune system of a Victorian child because I had been working in restaurants all these decades. For most of those years collectively, I had been working in an industry that was like eating away at my body, mind, and soul. And then when I finally had a chance to pivot, to put my energy elsewhere, I was fucking flourishing, bitch. Flourishing. I was like, oh my God, I'm not sickly. I actually feel so stable right now. Holy shit. And I was doing therapy too. So it was like, I was getting it all. I had a whole, I guess, a glow up, a psychological glow up. And my body was just like, bitch, I am working. I am functioning. That's what my body was saying. And then as soon as I start going back to restaurants, what happens? I mean, I stuck it out and burnt myself out at the one last year after a handful of months. Then I come here and 3 days I worked there. I ended up quitting over text. I felt bad. That was another thing that was interesting, like the guilt that came up, the shame that I felt. I felt stupid. Like, how dare I? How dare I let an opportunity go when I am trying to support my children, the human and non-human children alike, and myself? How dare I?
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
When I need to be bringing in more money. But then it's like, bitch, yeah, you're going to bring in some more money, but at what cost? Because you know what's going to happen. And I feel like the older I get, the more I'll get knocked down for the count. And I don't use drugs. Okay, I use cannabis. But that's not a drug, that's a plant. Okay? So the whole like self-medicating, performance-enhancing substances in order to extend the duration with which I can keep putting my body and mind into this situation, which is so not aligned with who I am. And I'm choosing to listen to what I've been taught, which is you just suck it up and you just deal with it and you just shut the fuck up and you just do what you need to do. But the truth is, like, there are consequences. And I started thinking about that. Like, I have to choose me. I have to choose what I know is aligned for me. And I have to trust that when I say no to what's not for me, that things that are for me will present themselves. And it's hard to keep believing that. It's hard to believe in magic. It's hard to believe in higher meaning when you're struggling for years and years. It really is. But I truly do believe, and I preach it, to choose to honor your own boundaries, choose to honor your needs, choose to follow the path that actually feels right for you as best as you can. And here I am presented with this real life opportunity to put that into practice or not. And I chose to actually put it into practice. And it was really scary.
How many people were scared? Me too. I was really, really scared.
And it brought up a lot of guilt and conflicting emotions. But I just decided, like, I'm going to trust. Because this is just not a viable option. I was faced with the reality of who I really am now. And adjusting the choices that I make. Not making the same old choices that I always have made, because I'm not the same old person that I always have been. I'm more mature and wise. I'm more in touch with myself. And it's hard to reconcile like that kind of thinking with like the reality of survival, but I'm doing my best. And I push past that fear, anxiety, and shame and guilt, and I chose myself. And wouldn't you know it, my circumstances are still very difficult, but I've already started to see things shifting. Like, for example, I suddenly have an influx of business through my dog walker job. Opportunities that I would not have been able to connect with had I kept that job. Doing dog walking and riding a bike around all day and being outside in the elements, it's physical labor. It's hard work sometimes, but it's aligned with me. It makes me feel fulfilled and rewarded and happy. I love it. I would much rather be doing that and bridging the gap with Uber Eats or something than to be forcing this square peg into a round hole by putting myself back into a situation that I know is not right for me just because I feel the pressure. I feel the pressure, and I've been conditioned with the lies. And while I still don't know how or when my situation is going to resolve or stabilize or whatever, I feel relieved, and I feel hopeful, and I feel energized. Let me tell you, the contrast did something to me. Like, just having worked at a restaurant for 3 days, just having had the anticipation that I was going to have to go back lifted. When I went to work the following day after I quit, it was like the birds were singing. There was like rainbows shooting out of people's asses. I was just so happy. I felt a new level of appreciation and gratitude for each and every work assignment that I went to. I put my heart into it because I was like, yes, this feels so right. I would much rather be looking at these cute little furry faces and giving loving care and enrichment to these beautiful animals. This is what's right for me. This is what feels good in my heart. And I'm proud of myself for choosing myself. I'm proud of myself for honoring my limitations, for finding the balance between honoring my limitations and pushing myself, for finding the balance between choosing what feels right and being realistic about the situation. I don't know what's in store for me, but I feel proud of myself. I feel hopeful, and I trust that I'm going to find a way to provide for myself and for my family, and I'm going to do it in a way that is aligned and that isn't going to actively harm me, because life is so short. Even if I do have to work 18-hour days, 16-hour days, when I'm taking into account my cooking and cleaning and taking care of my kids, even if I do, I want to be able to enjoy it. And by doing things that feel aligned with me, even if I am exhausted, even if I am broke, I can't afford to go on a vacation or go to do a spa day or whatever, I can enjoy my day-to-day life in simple, beautiful ways by connecting with animals, which is so special and important to me. Simple things. Being able to be outside, connect with the trees, feel the breeze, listen to music that I enjoy, listen to audiobooks that I enjoy, have freedom and autonomy throughout my day. Ride my bike. I fucking love riding my bike. Those are what light me up. So even if I am having to work myself, I don't have to work myself into the ground, if that makes sense. I'm going to work myself until I'm very, very tired and I don't have a lot of time, but at least I'm having moments all throughout my day that are bringing me so much fulfillment and joy. And I'm going to focus on those things as much as I can. And I'm going to trust that when I choose myself, the universe is going to rise up to meet me. And even if I can't see a way out yet, I'm going to have faith in me. Reporting live and direct from the struggle, this is Liz Lux. They're just passers-by, enjoying the day. It's okay to feel big feelings, but what do we do with them, right? What have we talked about? That's a good boy. Do you need to let it out? Yeah, you can let it out. This is a good place to do primal screams. For sure. For sure, for sure. Primal utterance therapy. I want to throw a rock in the water. Just purely for my own amusement. Whoa, it skipped. I didn't even mean to do that. That was lucky. Damn, I'm lucky. I'm always having lucky, magical shit happening to me. Look at this. A little shell. I'm protected. You're coming home with me. In my pocket.